You're listening to The Switch. I'm your host, Stephanie Shaw. Hey, welcome to The Switch. I'm Stephanie Shaw. I'm a multi-certified holistic nutrition coach who, after finding no success with the 18 doctors and 2 world-renowned healthcare facilities I visited, decided I needed to make a switch and take my health into my own hands. Now I'm obsessed with you getting hormonally balanced and emotionally aligned. This podcast is about education, empowerment, and simple no-cost strategies you can implement right now. I'm so excited to be here with you to talk about all things health, beauty, clean living, and mindset. Ready to take your mind and body to the next level? It's time to make the switch. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of The Switch. I am so excited to be here today with Charissa Quaide. Charissa, welcome to The Switch.
Thank you, Stephanie. I'm so excited to be here. It's such an honor.
Oh, thank you. So Charissa is a women's finance coach from Change Your Finances, and she has an incredible story. She's on a mission to help women experience peace of mind about finances, and she herself learned to manage money, eliminating debt in less than 2 years. And listen to this, everyone. She saved $79,000 to pay cash for her husband's college degree. Charissa, I am an empty vessel. I want you to fill me with your knowledge.
Well, I'm happy to be here. Like you said, I am on a mission to help women have peace of mind about their finances. And I believe that it's possible for every woman to get control of their finances and have peace of mind. And I really do think that women are the powerhouses, or they can be.
Yeah.
The powerhouses with making so many important decisions around finances to really improve your family's life. So I'm super excited to be here and share my tips with you. Do you mind if I jump right in and tell you how I got started?
Yeah, that's exactly how I like to know, because a lot of us don't have that background with budgeting or aren't raised that way. So let us know, how did you get started with this?
Well, we're in good company because I didn't either. In fact, my story really started when I was at the grocery store. I was right next to the chocolate chips and the flour, and I was struggling to hold back tears.
Wow.
Because I had just counted up my grocery cart and realized I had overspent again. I was so frustrated with myself, and I felt like I should know how to handle money. You know, I was married, and while I was a young bride, you know, it all fell upon me because I was putting my husband through school, and we both brought debt into our marriage. You know, I had my car loan, he had his student loans, his credit cards, but it fell upon me as the sole provider. And so money completely stressed me out. I didn't know how to handle it. I felt like I was such a failure. And I don't know if anyone can relate to that, because a lot of the women I talk to do feel the same way. But let me tell you, Stephanie, somewhere in the middle of all that chaos with money,
right,
I had this small little dream to see my husband graduate debt-free.
Wow.
Now, I have to be honest, I had no idea how we were going to do that.
Yeah.
So I stumbled along the best I could, just trying to survive, to be honest. And one day, about 2 years later, I looked up and I realized if we could come up with a couple $100, we could be debt-free by the end of the day.
Oh, wow.
So I had my husband come in. It was his student loan.
Yeah.
I made him hit the submit payment button. And as I watched those numbers drop to zero, I didn't realize that moment on March 17th, 2010 would be a defining moment in my entire life.
Wow.
Now, to be honest, at this moment, when we paid off our debt, I still hated money. I still didn't know how to handle it. It was still super stressful, but that peace of mind that came immediately after we paid off all our debt and we had zero payments, that drove me into figuring out how to handle money wisely. And so I turned to the Bible. That's how I've run my whole life. And I found out there was a ton of wisdom in the Bible about handling finances. So I applied it to my life, and I started seeing that they were working. And over the next few years, I was able to turn around and save up $79,775 to pay cash for the rest of my husband's education.
That is awesome. That is, like, yay, we should all be clapping.
Oh, thank you.
That is beautiful. So you talked a little bit about, you had a plan or principle model that you followed. Tell us how that worked for you and what was the process of following that model?
So I'll get into it in a couple of my tips. I'll break it down a little bit more. But as I learned about how to handle money, I've developed a simple plan to follow. And I think that's what's missing from a lot of women is they just don't have a plan to follow.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that you're a bad mom or a bad wife or a bad woman. You just don't know what to do. And so I had friends and family at that point too. They were like, Charissa, how on earth did you pay off the debt so quickly? How are you paying cash for school? And can you help me?
Yeah. Wow.
And that's where I really dedicated my life to helping other women who are where I was, scared and stressed out about their finances, to help them handle money with confidence and peace of mind. And because I believe that every single woman can handle her finances with confidence and have peace of mind about it.
So why do you think people are stressed out about money, or they fear that conversation?
I think it's a lot of we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't know what to do. We don't have a simple plan. And there's also a lot of, negative things about money from family saying, oh, you're never going to be able to handle that, or bad mistakes we've all made. We've all made mistakes. And so it's a matter of, I don't know how to handle it. I don't know if I want to look at it because that's kind of scary. And I'm not sure I want to get into it. So I'd rather bury my head in the sand.
Right.
Or is all these negative messages that we've told ourselves. And I think that's the biggest reason why so many women are just like, I don't want to talk about money. But let me tell you that when you do look at your finances as a woman,
right,
you have incredible power of influence. And I'm going to share 3 tips that really helped me overcome that money fear. But you as women can make such a difference in your family and in your community. Because here's what I see. The women who come to work with me, mm-hmm. I'd already told you, we're all scared and stressed out.
Right.
But after working with me and going through a simple plan, they've gotten control of their finances.
Wow.
And you know what that does? That changes them.
Yes. Builds that confidence.
Exactly. With the confidence. And then when you're not stressed about money, it changes your relationships because now everyone is happier.
Yeah.
And then you're able to make, wise decisions for your family and then reach out to your community. So I would love to jump into my 3 tips on how to overcome money fear. Are you ready for me to start? Yeah? All right. So over the next few minutes, I have 3 things I'm going to share with you on how to overcome money fear and turn it into confidence. First one is the power of an intentional plan. The second one is money doesn't have to be stressful. And the third is you've been given a gift, but too often money struggles hold you back. So tip number 1, the power of an intentional plan for your money is huge.
Right.
Now, what is an intentional plan for your money? It's a budget.
Right.
And a lot of women hate that word. And I understand completely because I thought budgeting was taking my receipts after I went shopping and throwing them on my desk until it was this huge pile of crumpled, faded receipts. Mm-hmm. And I'd have to spend all Saturday trying to read these numbers and figure out where my money had gone for the last who knows how many months.
Right.
This is not budgeting. But I think that's the mindset that we all have
Right.
about budgeting. Budgeting is really a simple plan for your money where you're in charge and you get to choose where your money is going to go ahead of time.
Mhm. Make every dollar have a place to go. That's important.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes. And I actually have a free budget worksheet for your audience as a gift. And so that's my gift to you. You can get it at changeyourfinances.com/switch podcast. That's all together, switch podcast. And so you're welcome. It's my pleasure. But I use a prioritized budget.
Okay. There are different, that's important to know. There are different types. So tell us about the prioritized budget.
I have found that this is the simplest to set up and it's super easy to stick to. And I don't know about you, but I like simple and easy.
Right.
And so basically with a prioritized budget, you have your income at the top and you list all of your expenses. But I want you to have 4 things at the top of your budget. Food is first.
Right.
Lights and water, housing, and transportation.
The things you can't live without.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we put those last so many times. You know, wait until, scramble at the last week of the month because we don't have money for groceries and, trying to figure out where we're going to come up with the mortgage and the rent. Let me tell you a secret. When I switched these 4 to the top and I was real intentional, okay, I am paying these things first.
Right.
A ton of money stress fell off.
Mm.
Why? Because my family's needs are taken care of.
That's important. Very important.
And when your family's needs are taken care of, you have room to breathe.
Right.
You can now think about whether you're paying off debt or you're trying to save money or you're trying to reach whatever money goal. You have the space and energy and ability to be able to do that now.
And that's powerful. That's powerful for the mindset and for everything. What's another piece of advice?
So this is a simple plan for your money. Like I said, you're in charge.
Right.
And you get to decide what is in order of priority. So after those 4 things, we list everything else in order of priority by saying, if I only have money for one more thing, what do I put next? And you go all the way down. So this budget method, when done correctly, allows you to have enough money. It guarantees that you'll have enough money for all the bills, for groceries, for extra for the fun stuff. It allows you to be super intentional about paying down the debt quickly and saving money. And it gives you back control of your finances. So you just need a simple plan to follow. Right. And this is the simplest one I have found. I've tried a whole bunch of them, but all you need is a simple plan to follow. So now tip number 2, that was tip number 1, is the power of an intentional plan for your money is huge. Now, tip number 2 is money doesn't have to be stressful.
That's a huge one as well, because money is stressful, cause of many divorces and arguments and so forth. So,
Well, why is money stressful?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. How do we not make it stressful?
So money is stressful from a couple of things, and this is what I've found out. We have no idea where it's going. So we feel like it's out of control.
Right.
We're not sure how to manage it or what to do or how to get started. We don't have a simple plan to follow. You feel like you're not making any headway on paying off that debt that's killing you.
Yeah.
Or saving money for emergencies or for anything else. You feel like you're stuck, basically. And money stress also comes from the fear of not having enough.
That's very true.
But when you have a simple plan for your money, a lot of women are like, whoa, I actually found out I had more money than I thought I had.
Right.
When I'm intentional with telling it where to go. So money isn't out of your control. You absolutely have a choice on what you want to do with it right now and what you want your future to look like. It all takes small changes. So I told you that's where money stress comes from, right? Let me tell you how we can get rid of the money stress, because I know that's what everyone wants to know.
Right.
Have a simple plan where you're in charge and you're telling your money where to go. This does wonders for getting rid of the stress. 2, decide what's important to you. I'm not going to be one telling you, you have to cut out all restaurant spending. You have to never do anything fun because you're on a budget. No.
Right.
If that's important to you, then you put it in. I just want you to set a specific amount for it, so you stay within, so you can reach all of your money goals and pay everything. But for me, I don't do restaurants. I have very little money in that category because I really like my own cooking. And so I'd rather eat at home. But if that's important to you, you add it in. The second thing is reducing expenses that you're paying too much for, just so you have room to breathe.
Yeah.
And so you have room to really focus on paying down the debt.
Right.
Or saving money. And then I like to be intentional about paying off that debt as quickly as possible. There's absolutely zero reason you need to stay in debt any longer than you need to. By that, I mean, I don't know if you've looked at the credit card statement and the minimum payment and how many decades of years it's going to take you to pay that thing off.
Right.
Don't listen to that. You can take control, and when you're intentional with telling your money where to go, you can pay it off much faster than what they tell you will.
Right.
And you can have that peace of mind and that freedom that comes from no payments. And as you're doing that, you're also able to save. And when you have money set aside for emergencies, because we know the tires are going to need to be replaced at some point, or, there's going to be a repair, or the kids need shoes, or whatever it is, and you have the money to take care of it and pay cash for it, ton of stress goes away.
That's very true.
Mm-hmm. So money, I just want to emphasize this. Money is not out of your control. You have a choice on what you want to do with it right now and what you want your future to look like. And I want to challenge all of the listeners, everyone who's listening today, don't let circumstances or chance dictate how your finances are going to be in the future. Do not let your finances, what they look like right now, they might be a total disaster. Don't let what that tells you or what that looks like right now define you or define what your future is going to look like. You can take actions today, and they're small actions. They don't have to be big ones.
Right.
And they will change your finances. And so it's all about your choice, and I want to empower you with you actually have the choice, and you can take back control. You just need a simple plan to follow. Real quick about the small changes. Mm-hmm. To illustrate my point, because a lot of women are like, Charissa, I feel like I have to pay off all the debt or make all this money so I could save. I'm in Phoenix.
Okay.
And if I were to get on a plane to go to Chicago, but the pilot makes a small change in the course, instead of Chicago, I end up in Atlanta.
Just with that small change, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the small changes that I help you implement really are super small, and they don't have to take a whole lot of time, but they will change your future.
That's impactful. So when you're budgeting, when folks are married, often there's a spender and then there's a saver in the household. How do you get people on the same page?
I get asked that a lot, and how you get on the same page. So I'm assuming whoever is listening, you're the money person, right? Because you're paying attention to this podcast. And so you might be all excited about paying down the debt or saving all the money. And you often, what happens is the one who's looking at the finances and sees the possibility is like, okay, hubby, I'll just use that for my example. We're going to get on a budget. We're not going to spend any money. We're going to sell the car. We're going to do all these things. And the spouse is like, whoa, who are you? And why are you? Let's not go with that approach. It doesn't work.
That's very true.
But what does work is saying, hey, babe, sitting down and having what I call a dream conversation.
Mm.
You know, if we didn't have this debt, what would we do?
Yeah.
Would we travel? I know you've always wanted to go to this place. Would we plan a trip? Would we buy that house we've been looking at? Like if we had all our money under control, we had money in savings, we didn't have any debt, what would our life look like?
Mm.
And so you have conversations that are these dream conversations. We're not even talking numbers. We're not talking budgets. We're just dreaming together. And then you have another conversation. You say, okay, you know how we were talking about if we could go to Italy or buy that house we've always wanted? Well, I think I know how we can do it.
Mm.
I think, I've looked at the numbers. Here's some steps that we can do. Here's some things I've already done. I've already, called my car insurance and gotten a better rate, for an example, and we've saved that much money. So if we add that much money to this debt, we could get it paid off in, such 3 years. Right. And then we have all of our income. And so you really talk about the dream, like the why first, and then show them as the one who's handling the finances and looking at it and showing them the possibility. How much have you already been able to save? If we put an extra $500 towards our debt each month, we could have it all paid off in however many months or years, and show them the progress and show them that. And now it will take several conversations, because when one spouse doesn't touch the money,
right,
their capability of handling money conversations is very small. You may be all excited like I am. I'm like, I can talk about money and budgets all day long. But with my husband over the years, I've had to start with small, bite-sized conversations.
Mm.
Because he couldn't handle it, because he wasn't looking at the numbers like I was. And that's not his strength. That's my strength. And so bite-sized conversations, showing them the progress, showing them what's possible, those are all great ways to help you with getting on the same page together. And having, if we're paying down debt, I like to make it visual.
Yeah.
Put it on the fridge, and every month we're like, okay, how much are we paying down? And you color it in or whatever, and you get everyone involved. And that helps too, once everyone sees the progress you're making.
So I asked that question from a budgeting perspective, but you gave me a real, true, impactful marital answer. So if we were listening, while you answered the question perfectly fine, you can use that, placing that dream in front of someone, or taking the conversation and making it in small bites that are digestible. Again, putting that vision, that can impact all different aspects of your marriage. That was really powerful. I like that. That was good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, it definitely works too. I'm telling you stuff I've actually done, and I've taught my women that work with me, and it's worked for them too. So I'm not just pulling something out of the air.
Right.
This is where the rubber actually meets the road. So I finished tip number 1, intentional plan for your budget, or having an intentional plan, which is a budget. And then tip number 2, money does not have to be stressful. Are you ready for tip number 3?
Yes, let's wrap it up with tip number 3.
Okay. What I've learned in my years of helping women is that God has given each of us a gift that He wants us to share. But too often, money struggles hold us back. Now, there's a couple things. First, there's a gift of taking care of your family and providing for your family's needs. And the fact that you have the ability to do that is huge.
Right.
And I don't want you to, I think we need to have our family as the top priority. We need to take care of our family first. Right. And then we give, and then we do other things. But I also know that each of us have a dream, something we want to do, something we want to impact, something that's really close to our heart, and that's there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're too worried about, am I going to have enough money for food? I have mountains of debt that I have no idea how I'm going to pay that off. By the time all the bills are paid, there's no money for savings.
Right.
When you're stuck in that mentality, you have no mental, emotional, physical, financial ability to use that dream, that gift that's inside of you, and make an impact. You just can't.
Right. That's true. That's so true.
But when you do take control over your finances, when you do follow a simple plan for your money and you take back control and you have peace of mind and your relationships are better with your family, and as you get into a more stable place, you are able to use your gifts and abilities. It could be, giving is super huge for me. So one of my big goals is I want to be an outrageous, generous giver.
Yes.
So it could be that, I have extra money I can give because I've taken care of my debt, because I saved, and because I provided for my family first. But it also could be you have the space to go out and be a part of something or to do something different.
Right.
That you haven't been able to because you were struggling with money. So I want to challenge you to take control of your finances, to push past the fear of money and follow a simple plan for your finances, because your family is worth it.
Yeah.
And that desire for a better financial future is a good thing.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm. But here's the thing, Stephanie, we're going to be dealing with money for the rest of our life.
Right.
Money touches every single area of our life. And so if you're not in control of your finances now, when are you going to be? You have the choice right now to choose, okay, you know what? Whatever I did in the past is in the past.
Right.
I can choose today to take small steps and have a simple plan for my money so that today is better and tomorrow is great.
Mm.
It's your choice. And I've helped over 1,600 women so far.
Wow. Yeah. Beautiful.
Get control of their finances, have a simple plan that they can stick to, pay off tens of thousands of dollars in debt in just a few short years, and finally build up their savings so they're not worried about an emergency popping up. And the most important thing is they've gone from scared and stressed out about money to now confidently handling their money with peace of mind.
So to work with you, does someone need to have money already, or are you working with people coming to you as they are?
I work with women right as they are. Yeah. Whatever they're struggling with, it's nothing new. I can help them wherever they feel like they've made all these mistakes. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're in good company because I've made them too. I understand, but I really focus on making it so simple, breaking it down into simple steps that are easy to follow, because I remember how scared and stressed out I was. Mm. And I want to come alongside and really encourage these women and give them the tools that they need, because I really do believe that you can handle your money with confidence and have peace of mind. And I want to make sure that I help as many women as I can, because nothing touches my heart more than seeing the complete life transformation that happens. And it's not just about getting those numbers to black.
Right. It's the confidence, it's the ability to handle your finances and take care of your family and to impact generations, because what you learn now, that's definitely how your children will handle money, and that's how they will teach their children to handle money. Those are so impactful. I appreciate that, Charissa.
Oh, you're welcome. And one thing about the kids, if you have older kids and you're like, well, I've already screwed up, and there's still hope for you.
Yes. Yeah.
Because you can still say, you know what, I didn't know how to handle money, and so I had all these mistakes. But I'm learning about handling money right now, and I want to teach you what I know now so that you don't have to have the same mistakes as I did. And that is powerful.
That is truly powerful. Thank you so much. I thank you. Your tips were awesome. I'm going to make sure that everyone has information on how to get in contact with you. But before I let you go, I always ask everyone, what was your switch? So what happened either internally or externally that caused you to switch and be the woman that you are today?
Well, regarding finances, I think it really was realizing that I wasn't a failure and that all I needed was a simple plan to follow, and that I could make an impact on my family's finances and our goals as a woman. And when I realized all of that, that really took me from freaking out about money.
I'll pause and we'll have to redo it over. Can you hold on for 1 second? I'm sorry. That was like my second coughing fit of the day. I apologize.
I've had that happen to me many times.
I have an editor that's really good. So we can start with, I asked you about what was your switch. So I'll ask you that question again and then lead into it. And then I'm so sorry. I'm like,
don't worry, Stephanie. I've done that too.
I was trying to hold on. So I'm sorry. Okay. So we'll pause a couple seconds. So Mark can get it. Okay. Charissa, thank you so much for being with us today. But before I let you go, I want to ask you, what was your switch? What was that one thing, either internally or externally, that caused you to be the woman that you are today?
Well, I think since we're talking about finances, I'll just go there. The biggest switch came for me was realizing I wasn't a failure and realizing all I needed was a simple plan to follow. Mm-hmm. And as a woman, that I could take control of my finances and I could improve them for right now and then help my family reach our money goals. To me, that knowledge was huge. And I went from like totally freaking out about money and crying all day when I would try and do my budget those Saturdays to now being super excited about it and helping other women with their finances. And I just look back and I'm like, I don't even know who I am. Like, I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago. And it all really started, all those lessons I told you that really changed me really started the day I became debt free. And so I just wanted to follow up with one last thing, is the proudest moment of my entire life. I'm sitting in this crowded stands, air horns are blowing, and I'm watching my husband in his cap and gown walk across that stage.
Wow.
Completely debt-free.
Wow.
I was so proud of him, so proud of me, because we had done it.
Yeah.
We'd paid off our debt. We had saved up all that money and paid cash for school. And along the way, I had really overcome my fear of money, my struggles with money, and was now handling it with confidence and peace of mind. And so if you're wanting to handle money with confidence and peace of mind, if you were wanting a simple plan to follow, the best next step to take would be to go grab that free worksheet. It's at changeyourfinances.com/switch podcast. And I can help you with a simple plan.
Thank you so much. I so enjoyed our conversation today. And everyone, I'll make sure that the information is below so you can just click on a link. Again, thanks so much, Charissa. Thank you for your for sharing your wisdom with us. And thank you again for being on the podcast. Everyone, here's to your health. I am so excited for you because you just finished another episode of The Switch, which means you are the fierce person I already knew you were. If you're ready to join an exclusive group of other fierce high performers like you, a group where you can bounce ideas off one another and ask questions, be sure to join our exclusive Facebook community. You can find the link below.